Alrighty guys, welcome to your 5th tutorial, and in this video what I want to do is I want to just start styling the basic headings, all the easy stuff before we get into some more advanced stuff. So I'm going to be styling these heading first. These are actually the heading 2s, and that's just the red thing that says my profile and 2-column layout. I think on the YouTube video they look pretty weird, but actually in real life they look pretty freaking sweet. So the first thing we want to do is say in the footer all heading 2s, and you want to do this because your heading 2s on your main website are generally going to be a little bit different, but this is how I style mine. The font weight is normal because by default all headings are bold. Now the font size is 14 pixels. Now the default font size for the footer is going to be 12 pixels, and of course you want the headings a little bit bigger generally, so there you go. Now for the text decoration, I'm just going to set those to underline, and for the color I chose is CC0000, and that is that red color that you see right here in my profile. And I chose that not because it looks good in the background, but because my social network, those are the colors of the headings on the website. So it's a good idea to match it. Then you have the same theme for your footer in your website. Now the margin top for the headings is 10 pixels. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the margin bottom. I'm going to set that to 5. Where are you at? 5 pixels, and the margin left is 10 pixels. So 10, 5, 10 with top, bottom, and left. So that's your heading 2, and again, all those margins, it just gives you a little bit of space so the text above and below, and also it isn't butted up against above, below, or to the left of it. You really don't need any margin on the right hand side, because unless you're floating it to the right or anything, it's not really going to be an issue. Now after this, I want to start styling the paragraphs. So in your footer, all paragraphs are going to be, first of all, white. Now the reason that you need white is because generally your background is going to be very light, and if you have the default text color, which is black, on this, it's basically impossible to read. So black text on a kind of dark background ain't happening. So as you can see, it's very easy to read whenever you have white text, just like that. So the color is white. The font size is 12. Let's go ahead and steal some of this. Font size is 12. Now for the paragraph, we actually want to float these to the left. And the reason that we want to do this is because whenever we are writing several paragraphs, well, you're going to see later on whenever I piece everything together, but for now, float your paragraphs to the left. And now the only other two elements that you need are padding, 0 pixels and 10 pixels. Now whenever you have two numbers in your padding, then what this means is the top and bottom are 0 and the left and right are 10. If you just had 10, then it would mean the top, bottom, left, right, it's 10 all around. But whenever you have two values in either padding or margin, then the first value is for top and bottom, and the second one is for left and right. So now let me go ahead and copy this and change this one to margin. Now my margin is going to be just the opposite of this. 10 pixels, it's going to have a margin. Let me go ahead and write this first. Now the paragraphs are going to have a top and bottom margin of 10 pixels and a left and right margin of 0. So this is actually the best way to set up your paragraphs, and it gives it nice room above, below, and to the left and to the right. And well, that's how I set up my paragraphs. It's super easy to read, and it fits super nicely in your footer. So after this, I guess what we're going to do is we're actually going to style the image, and then it's going to take like 2 seconds, and then we're going to start styling the individual buttons. So even though these aren't, there's no button element. Actually, well, okay, I take that back. these are actually, some people call them tabs, some people call them buttons, some people call them elements, but the thing that says account, profile, columns, programs, that's what we're going to be styling in the upcoming tutorials. So I'll see you guys then.